And I think we did quite a lot over the last 14 years I was there. I had just wonderful people to work with, Diana George, Joanne Lowe, Tom Coons, Jack Sandy Anderson. It's just too many to really think of, but just like some of the things that we started, first of all, we believed that history should be fun and it should be open to children, youth, and that it shouldn't be dry. It should be something that hands-on. And I'm kind of proud of some of the things that we've started. Everybody said there was nothing to do in Fairmont one time. And I said, it's a shame. Nobody knows what all is around in the community and in West Virginia. And they think they have to go out of state. And Joanne and my mom and Diane are there. And I said, what we need to do is start having a meeting once a year of people to come and show what they do at their places. And they said, well, nobody would come. So we tried it for the first year, and they held it down here at the church in the social hall. And over the years, it became so popular, we now have 3 floors of the courthouse and the outside of the courthouse. And last year, we expanded into Loose Spatafor, the 3rd floor. And this year, coming up, it looks like that they're, for the 200th anniversary, that they're going to expand it to all downtown. And I think that's something that's free to the public. It gives them an opportunity to think.
And you called it the Historic Expo.
Yes, and it's now called the Mountaineer
Expo,
Historic Expo. Another thing that we did, we have continued, Nancy Bickerstaff started it, but one thing that we have continued is the historic home tours, which give the people a chance to go in personal homes that they would normally not get to see. And we even won an award for that for Event of the Year. For our efforts on preservation, which is one of our big things right now, is we are working towards preserving over, I would say, 90,000 artifacts that are there that need dating to pre-Revolutionary War that need to be restored.
One of the things that you've always been cramped for, and that is space. And I know that even so many things that you would like to display, you can't display because you can't get them out because they're all cluttered up there on the top floor or some other place, and you just don't have a good inventory. But my understanding is that very soon you will have a whole floor.
No, we already have. We already have had that. We already have that, and the goal of that, and it has been for the last 2 years. And what happened? We started on it, but the elevator broke, and they didn't have an elevator for 2 years. So what it will be eventually?
It's fixed now.
Yeah, I know. But we had gotten a grant to get a professional, a lot of the professional equipment, including a professional
archivist.
No. The machine, $4,000 machine.
I know what you mean. I don't know the name of it.
Anyway, to actually do it. And some of the equipment that we got and ready to go and work with, and we're looking for people that want to come and take lessons and do this and work in the archives, which they will get to see pictures they've never seen before and probably will be a long time before they see again. But once this is done, then it will go up online and it will be available to everybody to be used for research, and it will be also available for authors, and it will be available for filmists to come in and use it and free of charge.
All right, I know people want to see you about ready to start the program. I just have one more question. I know you're going to continue to be involved even though today is a very special day for you, but you're going to be presenting a special gift too that you haven't told anybody. So tell me now, and I'll put it up online later.
Okay, one of the things that I have always wanted to have done and had restored is I had found the original plat for the formation of downtown Fairmont. And this shows the streets as they were outlined, and it has the signatures of all the people that were involved in the making of downtown Fairmont in 1820, and it also has other information written on it, and I had that framed, and nobody knows about this, and I am presenting it as my parting gift to the Historical Society.
Look forward to that. Congratulations, Dora Kay. Thank you. One of the things I'll end in closing and saying is, this was a labor of love for you, continues to be a labor of love. You never took a penny for your work. It was all volunteer. And I don't think people realize that. And you're to be commended from the bottom of the hearts of Marion Countyans. And there's going to be a proclamation, I believe, for you today, too. So thank you for your work and effort. And thank you for all you've done for Marion County and Fairmont.
Well, thank you.
Historical Society President, we thank you and we honor you, and we're happy to share this day with you, and we would like to present you with a plaque for all you have done for us.
Thank you very much. It's really very good.
Can we get a picture of everyone? Senator Bob Beach and County Commissioners Randy Elliott and Rick Garcia and Brad Merrifield, Mayor Brad Merrifield, for being here and celebrating this day with us. And I would like to ask Randy Elliott to please come and present a proclamation.
Sure. I have a few other things to say too, but could please.
Yes.
I'd like to, if I could stand back here to see everybody, or if you want to sit down for a second, I want to say a few things. I do have a proclamation on behalf of the Marion County Commission. It is an honor and a pleasure to be here today, representing the County Commission and such a wonderful person who preserved history in Marion County. At 15 years I've been in commission more than anybody that I know. Joanne Lowe has worked very hard. A lot of people have worked very hard for Marion County, but Dora has been to many, many of our meetings, and some of the things that I'd just like to mention that she's been part of that's incredible to me. I'm a history buff myself. I've been to over 30 Civil War sites over the last 25 or 30 years. I love it, and to see what's even happening in Fairmont, the Battle of Fairmont with Grubb Jones and all the history there. We were successful in putting plaques up throughout Marion County, the city of Fairmont here, recognizing the different battle sites and when it took place. One with the low-level bridge, one on each side. I was there dedicating those at one time. But things like that, and history that's part of this area, are so important. Our heritage is very, very important here, and we have a lot of it here in Fairmont. There's incredible history here in Fairmont. When I started 15 years ago, the Division II courtroom looked like a Brady Bunch courtroom. It had paneling, all the windows were covered up, drop ceiling, and you look at the other courtroom on the 3rd floor, and it's preserved to perfection up there. Any of you, how many here have been in the courtroom on the 3rd floor up there? Am I right in saying it looks like something of a movie? It was so well preserved. But the courtroom below that, for whatever reason, back in the 60s, they decided, well, we're going to remodel this. Well, they didn't do it any justice. And Dora was always somebody that said, hey, if you're going to do any work inside the courthouse, let's do it the original way. Please don't paint the molding and rearrange whatever's in it. So we got with her influence and Joanne's influence, we went in there and we tore all of that out. Couldn't believe we opened up the original windows. We're still intact. There wasn't a thing wrong with them. And they look just like the ones on the 3rd floor. So we accomplished that. It took a lot of work. We had to remove a lot of wiring and stuff away. But it's projects like that that I think will last forever, as long as the courthouse is there, because remodeling like that is terrible. We're not doing any justice historic to the history of the Marion County Commission. So good to have Commissioner Garcia here with me today, too. Whereas, as Marion County Historical Society President, Dora K. Grubb retired in January 2019 after holding the position for more than a decade. And whereas Dora K. Grubb was also the Executive Director of the Marion County Historical Society Museum for over a decade. And whereas Dora has been an active, participating member of the Marion County Historical Society since 1986. And whereas she is also the historian of the Central United Methodist Church and a master bridge player. And whereas she holds a degree from Fairmont State College and served the state of West Virginia as a social worker at the Department of Health and Human Resources. And whereas Dora is passionate about preserving the history of Marion County, West Virginia, for the future and has been instrumental in revitalizing historical homes tours, historic celebrations, including the Junior Pierpont Day celebrated Memorial Day weekend and other events to promote Marion County. And whereas Dora is currently a member of the Fairmont, West Virginia City Council, now therefore be resolved that the Marion County Commission does hereby proclaim June the 29th, 2019 to be Dora K. Grubb Day.
I can't retire because of my imagination. You only retire when you get paid for it. And so I never got paid for being any of this. And therefore, I have not retired. I very much could not thank enough, and I hope she hasn't, there she is, Joanne Lowe, who has been my mentor since the very beginning and taught me more than I could ever hold in my mind. She is the one that actually got all of the Civil War Trail up through, and I'm very proud. By the way, we have 6 Civil War Trail markers. They will all be fixed up June 12th. They'll be back to normal. But she did all of that, and she is the one that brought them in here to do that. And I think I'm right on this because I went around and counted them. And out of the 150 Civil War Trail markers that we have here in Fairmont, we have more Civil War markers within a city than anybody else in the state. So, so I think we should be very impressed with that. And you know, it's been such an exciting adventure, and I still wanted to go ahead and I get up in the morning and I thought, you know, I can't wait to go down and do it. And then about an hour later, I found out I could hardly walk. So this is really killing me, probably more than anything in my life before, to give this up. And my new husband has told me over and over again, and my only husband has told me over and over again that I have to let go. And I'm trying very hard to let go. And that's very, very hard of the people that work with me, knowing that I'm having a hard time letting go. I think this is such an exciting year that is coming up. Next year is the 200th anniversary of Fairmont. And I have seen more excitement with this than I have seen in anything since I have moved back to Fairmont. And I'm very, very happy about that. People are looking at some wonderful ideas. They're looking at having an arboretum built downtown that will connect between Fairmont State and Fairmont proper, and the Arboretum will have branches off of that, and that will be over by the 5th Street Gym, hopefully. And I'm just mentioning this because all these people have any influence. I want them to know what a great idea this is. And some of the other things that we'll be looking at, it will be a year-long celebration with a big part of it happening right at July. There'll be 2 full weeks that will be come home again here. That will be solid things going on all the time. But there will be something going on every month and special projects. And this is the time that I think we can bring businesses and tourism back into Fairmont if we just start talking positively. I think many times we shoot our own self in the foot with how negative we talk about Fairmont, when we have more to offer than any other city that I can think of in West Virginia. And we should be jumping up and down for joy. I don't know how many of you know this, but actually the Historical Society, and I do believe also that this is the longest existing historical society that has been since it started in 1908 by Butcher, the state superintendent of schools. And so this has been continuous since then. And that is something that's very, very proud of. And one of the things that they always wanted to have was a museum just for Marion County. And anyway, the first museum in Marion County that was sponsored by them was down here, and it wasn't until 1986 And I don't know if you know it, but my mother is the one of the two people that ran that museum from that time until basically I took over. She and Nancy Kuntz, K-O-T-Z, were there every single day. And you know what? They didn't have to pay for parking for every 20 minutes when they came out. Just pay for all the parking tickets I've gotten from them. But anyway, this has just been the love of my life. And it's really, really, really hard for me to give up. And so I didn't want anybody going through a drawer one day, and I've kept it hidden all these years, is the original plaque for downtown Fairmont with all the original signatures and with all the original handwriting. I haven't read this for what it is. And so I took it down to M&N Glass and had it professionally, historically framed. And I'm presenting this back to the Historical Society Museum as my parting gift. Oh, how nice.
What year was that?
What?
What year?
1820. Excuse me.
Been on city council with Dora for about 2.5 years. And over the last 6 months, I've got to know her a lot better. And the amount of ideas that Dora has is significant and impressive. You just have to listen. And this 200-year anniversary is something she started talking about quite a while back, but it's picked up steam now because, you know, several people have just taken it as an opportunity to celebrate Fairmont, a reason to have a party, a reason to showcase Fairmont. So that's all I wanted to say, but thank you for your contributions so far. Thank you for the contributions that you're going to make, because you're not done working. I mean, you have not retired. You're just getting started. You will not get paid. You will not, as far as I know, you will get no free parking. And if you need $1 or $2, poor Dora, I'll be glad to spot you $1 or $2. But I think you're going to be fine. But anyway, thank you for all you've done. I appreciate you.
We thank you very much for watching the Marion County Historical Society honoring Dora K. Grubb, the former executive director of the museum and Historical Society, with proclamations. She also received plaques and even a special gift from Okie Edgel. So congratulations, Dora K. God bless you forever.